Hey everyone, and welcome back to Road Trip to Fire, your source for going on your road trip to financial independence.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to discuss a report from September 2019 with you guys from Rethink. And I think even though it's almost 2 years old, I think it's more relevant than ever. To be honest, I only read it recently, but I thought it was so interesting because a lot of things in there were also predicted by me. And actually, they even went a few steps further. So I just want to dive into it and see what I found out. So Rethink discusses the key impacts that lab-grown meat will have on the food and agriculture industry. So first they touch a few economic points. So what are they saying? The cost of modern foods and other precision fermentation products will be at least 50 and as much as 80% lower than the animal products they replace. So they saying cultured meat will be massively cheaper. Revenues of US beef industry and their suppliers, which together exceed 400 billion today, will decline by at least 50% by 2030 and nearly 90% by 2035. That's a massive decline in revenue. As a consequence, let's go over the consequence a bit later, but this is massive. This is absolutely massive. So all other livestock and commercial fisheries will follow a similar trajectory. So, wow. The volume of crops needed to feed cattle in the US will fall by 50% from 155 million tons in 2018 to 80 million tons in 2030 and will continue to decline after that. And here's one important, and guys, this one, if you recall correctly, I predicted this one as well. Farmland values will collapse by 40 to 80%. They even put a number on it. That's, again, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And I always wondered, what will this collapse have as impact on the price of real estate? So, and actually they answer that a little bit later. So keep watching, and in just a few minutes, I don't know how long at this point, but you will know the answer to that. So what else do they say? Countries that produce large quantities of conventional animal products like Brazil, where 21% of GDP comes from agriculture, 7% of which is from livestock alone, are really vulnerable for this revolution. The average US family will save $1,200 a year in food costs. Well, that's again quite massive. By 2030, at least half of demand from oil from the US agriculture industry, currently running at about 150 million barrels of oil, will disappear. So actually, this falls in line with something that I remember that Katie Woods recently said, was that she predicts that oil prices will fall to $12 per barrel. And here when you're reading this, well, this all connects. Innovation will take care of deflation, guys, long run. The next 10 years expect massive deflation in all areas, and this is just an area that no one sees coming, and it's going to take the world by storm. Next, environmental. So 60% of the land currently used for livestock and feed production will be freed for other uses. So again, they even specify here, this will be in the US, an area of almost the size of the Louisiana Purchase, a major purchase by the US. And they also say, if all this land were dedicated to reforestation and efforts were made to utilize tree species, this could offset all other greenhouse gas emissions by 2035. Wow, I knew like this was coming. I didn't know it would be so huge. And at the same time, US greenhouse gas emissions from cattle will drop by 60% by 2030. Again, massive, even 80% in 2035. Another one, very, very important, water consumption will fall by 50% and 75% by 2035. I don't know about you guys, but in so many countries around the world, sweet water is really getting rare, and this is so important. So again, how can anyone oppose this? Let's go to the next slide of what I think, and this is for investors. So in this slide, they really, the total report is almost 100 pages. So I just took out the things that I think is important for investors. So here the effects they see for stocks, equipment, infrastructure and land can suffer. So stay away from those farmland investments. I mean, as soon as that cultured food is coming to supermarkets, you're going to start seeing farmland stabilize and they're going to start to drop. 9 years, guys, 9 years, it's not long for land prices to drop immensely. But also they saw a few side effects that I didn't even think about yet, like equipment, like tractors, companies selling tractors, animal feed, fertilizers, pesticides, antibiotics. All those things will have to be less used, so might drop in price. Some will drop more than others. Land will drop far more proportionally. And next they say ultimately the industrial processing industry will cease to exist in the large scale facilities we have today, and the 2030s will see the last industrial slaughterhouse in the US close. So yeah, for vegans, for vegetarians, massive revolution. They're going to be cheering. So another really good side effect of this. And here they also say something very, very interesting on slide 62, because it's something that I wondered about in my previous video, where I will leave a link in the description, or maybe I'll just put it here, blink blink. So but here they say land near cities might have use as industrial, commercial or residential land subject to planning changes and could see an increase in value. Holding and petitioning for regulatory land use and changes therefore might be the best plan. Actually, this is quite clever. You see, farmers will start to see a huge drop in price. They will start to see huge drops in income. So how could they compensate farmers? They could allow for farmers to sell some of their land as residential land. This would not only bring back the prices of housing down to more reasonable levels, because they've been skyrocketing since Corona, and they could at the same time compensate the farmers. So it would be a win-win. To emphasize how fast this thing could come, here they say that the price of cultured beef, we will reach parity by somewhere in 2021. For example, this is from Mosa Meat. Here they say that this year they achieved a 65% reduction in their fat medium costs. So look at, they have a line here. You see here, wow, since 2019, so since that report really came out, they have reduced it from 100 to 1.52%. It's crazy, it's massive. Guys, this revolution is coming. Make sure your investments are aligned to this. Although I have to really stress, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence. I will link in the report in the description. I could be the village fool telling you fairy tales. Do your own research. Thanks so much for watching. If you like my video, then please like, please subscribe, and see you next time.